Today we're going to try to use the Farmex FFM 220 on our rough yard. I've cut trails for about 2 hours with it and been pleased. The adjustment's been a bit of a challenge, but it's an 87 inch, it's a Farmex. It's made by Uniform. It's actually made in India, I think. And it's 87 inches cutting width. It's got 26 hammer blades on it. And it does well behind this Coyote. It does have about a 6-inch manual offset. You undo one bolt and it will slide over manually. I'll show you what it looks like underneath. It's pretty wide. You can see my hand. They're pretty wide hammer mills and they swing freely. There's no slip clutch or shear bolt on this thing. It runs on belts. It has, I think, 4 belts. And the hammer mills are what prevent it from tearing something up in the PTO. And these rakes keep the material in the machine to cut it up better when you're using it. One thing the Premier did was they put, where it had pins in the top, they went and put pins in the bottom. You can see right there. And it, I think there's been a couple of times it would have jumped out, but perhaps not. But it's got slides here, and that's one way of adjusting. You've got the roller adjustment there, which is another way of adjusting. And then you've got your top link on the tractor. That's the 3 ways you can adjust the height of it. And I'm gonna see how it does in the yard if I'm cutting it too low. And I've got a rough field behind the building that we're gonna cut too, and we'll see how it does there. I'm not worried about the height in it. But that's pretty much it. If you've got questions, shoot us a comment and we'll give it a whirl in the yard and see how it does. Get off the rocks in the concrete. Drop her down a little bit. PTO on. .540. Drop her down on the slides. Clean cut. This particular part of the yard, I'm not too worried about how low it cuts it. It's not really cutting it too low, and it's chopping the material pretty fine. See if I can pick speed up a little bit. Very straight line, and we do have stump holes out here that makes the ride a little bumpy, and it's probably going to scout when I hit one. I'm going to lift up and make this turn. Cutting the trails, I just left it down, but I didn't make sharp turns either. I'm gonna go as fast as low will take us and see what happens. And the roller's actually striping it. You may not notice it on camera, but it is striping it pretty nicely. friends, the barn swallows, out today. Yeah, a bit of a rough spot there, and it left a little gap. Leaving less clumps of grass than the finish mower did. The finish mower leaves a really big mess, and I'm probably cutting maybe just a little bit more than the finish mower cuts. It actually looks a little nicer. Go back the other way, see if I can stripe it a little bit. Swallows sitting in the grass. They're funny little birds. Get to some rougher stuff, I'll get you guys back in here and take a look at it. It's actually doing a pretty good job of striping it.